If you're a parent or a mentor, or just happen to be helping a young person through the early phases of their life, keep watching. I'm going to share a common mistake that people in our position tend to make, and how to help in a deeper and more profound way. By the way, I'm Michael Ravenwood, and I throw real lightning bolts to help empower people and create harmony. So when my son was very young and just learning to walk, I struggled with this sort of impulse to prevent him from falling. Quite naturally, I suppose, I just didn't want to see him hit the ground, but I understood early on that wasn't going to work out for him. Because if I kept rescuing him from falling over, then he would never really sense for himself where the fulcrum was, where you lose balance and fall over versus where you can maintain your own center. So I would just let him fall. Now, of course, if there was a hard, sharp corner right where his head was going to go, I'd kind of buffer him or guide him in another direction so he fell away from it. But as often as possible, I would let him hit the ground. Maybe he'd be upset for a second, but he'd usually just get right back up. He even used to make this funny little grunting sound of frustration. So cute. But because I took that tack with him, I believe he gained a really early sense of balance and coordination that he wouldn't have had otherwise. And so it is with kids, even as they get older. You see, the benefit of having things go right every time is far outweighed by the frustration that they experience every time you're telling them how to do everything. Which is why it's by far better to ask questions than to tell. And even if you see that they're about to make a mistake, as long as it's not a lethal one, maybe go ahead and let them. Especially after you might have asked a question or two to lead them in the right direction. If they're really intent on making a mistake and learning from it, perhaps it's best. And if you speak less and tell them what to do less, they'll probably have less resistance for when you actually really intend to drive them away from something that you can see is very harmful. Then they'll see that you're serious. It'll be kind of more powerful for the less that you've said overall. Perhaps most importantly, we should allow them to make mistakes because then they learn how to recover on their own. If we're constantly pushing them in the right direction and preventing them from making mistakes, then they don't know that they can recover from them. And that which we're unfamiliar with, we tend to fear. And in the end, it is the fear of making a mistake that will prevent you from trying at all. And this is the worst failure possible. So, in a strange way, there is an encouragement you're giving your children by allowing them to make mistakes. So if anything I said in this video made sense to you, put beautiful blunders in the comments. If you put beautiful blunders in the comments, then I'll know you got the message. And if you want, reach out to me.